One of the groups that suffered some unspeakable tragedy during the Waukesha Parade in 2021 was the Dancing Grannies. They lost 3 dancers and 1 member of the group's husband. Now they are back on the parade circuit, but what happened last year is never really far from their mind.
Everybody wanted to make a comeback and let them know that we were definitely coming back.
Lacing up their shoes, the Dancing Grannies gathered in a Milwaukee park last week to practice for their upcoming 4th of July shows.
You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag.
The resilient group got back to parades just weeks after the tragedy in Waukesha, but it was Milwaukee's St. Patrick's Day parade where many of the women performed. Some were battling the scars of physical injuries suffered in Waukesha, and others were battling injuries that couldn't be seen.
I think the trauma piece is the hardest thing to, not only the fear and the memory of coming back, but the loss of the people.
Virginia Sorensen, known to the Grannies as Ginny, died. So did Leanna Owen, Tamara Durand, and Wilhelm Hospel. The Dancing Grannies don't want what happened in 2021 to define their group, so they have signed up to be part of the 2022 Waukesha Christmas Parade.
You can probably think you're prepared to show up in Waukesha, but it's going to be that day where it's really going to come down to hit you.
Yeah, and that's how trauma works, and you can do everything you can, but there's just body memory, there's emotional memory, there's grief that just surprises you.
And while some might be ready, everyone may not be.
Committing to this year's Waukesha Parade, we've told them that, if they don't feel comfortable doing it, they don't have to.
For now, they'll practice, learning the dances, shaking the pom-poms, and coming together to remember those they lost. Now they're guardian angels.
Every now and then, one of us will look up and it's like, yeah, Ginny, be proud, or we will kick your butt.
We talked to the Dancing Grannies less than a week before what happened in Illinois. They told me that they knew they could never be 100% safe because you never know what someone may be thinking, and that was, of course, their worst fears brought to mind there on Monday, but it wasn't going to stop them from being in the parade this year. And since what happened last year, the Dancing Grannies, Susan, they have grown, actually. There were several people that became interested in the group after hearing about them in the parade and the tragedy. Of course, they made national news. And so there are more Dancing Grannies than there ever have been.
And Tom, listening to your interview there, talk about resilient, right? The positive attitude and knowing how important they are to the community and wanting to get out there and just understanding that there could be trauma in the moment or leading up to it, and they understand that.
Yeah, and they are so much fun to be around, and so they bring that energy to the parade route, and I'm sure that's what people are going to feel when they come down here this year. And a reminder of why we're out here this morning. If you're not comfortable attending the parade, you can watch this year's Waukesha Christmas Parade live on Sunday, November 20th, right here on TMJ4 on air and all of our streaming platforms. Susan?